The earth did not just tremble that day. It shook with sorrow. The sky grew dark, as if creation itself refused to watch. And on a rugged cross between two criminals hung a man the world thought it understood. But they were wrong. This was no ordinary death. This was the moment heaven held its breath. They mocked him. They spat on him. They nailed his hands and feet into wood, as if they could pin down the very power of God. "Save yourself," they shouted. "Come down from the cross." But he didn't move. Not because he couldn't, but because he chose not to. Every drop of blood, every gasp for breath, every moment of pain, it was not weakness. It was love. A love so deep, it chose suffering. A love so powerful it chose sacrifice. And then, he spoke. Not words of anger, not curses, but something no one expected. "Father, forgive them." Forgive them? In that moment, yes, because even in death, he was still giving life. Then suddenly, he cried out again. "It is finished." Not "I am finished," but "it is finished." The mission, the price, the separation between man and God, finished. And then, he gave up his spirit. Not taken, not stolen, given. Silence fell. The crowd stood still. The soldiers stepped back. And for a moment, it seemed like darkness had won. They took his body down. Lifeless. Still. Cold. They wrapped him in linen and placed him in a tomb carved out of stone. A heavy stone rolled in front. Sealed. Guarded. Final. To the world, it was over. Hope was buried. Faith was shattered. Dreams crushed. But what they didn't know was that heaven was not silent. Heaven was waiting. Day 1 passed. Nothing. Day 2 passed. Still nothing. The silence grew louder. The grief deeper. The doubt heavier. And then, the third day came. Before the sun could fully rise, before the world could awaken, something happened. The ground began to shake again. Not in sorrow, but in power. The stone was not rolled away to let him out. It was rolled away to let the world see. He was no longer there. The tomb was empty. Death had done its worst. And still, it was not enough, because death could not hold him. The grave could not keep him. The darkness could not overcome him. He rose, not as a broken man, but as a victorious king. And in that moment, everything changed. Fear lost its grip. Sin lost its power. Death lost its victory, because the one they crucified was the one who conquered. And the story didn't end at the cross. It didn't end in the tomb. It didn't end in silence. It ended in resurrection. So when you feel like it's over, when life feels buried, when hope feels sealed behind a stone, remember this. The same power that raised him from the grave still moves, still speaks, still saves, because he died. Yes, he died, but death couldn't hold him. Now, pause for a moment, because this story is not just history. It's not just something that happened long ago. It's not just a moment in time. It's a mirror, because the truth is, we were there. Not physically, not standing in the crowd, not holding the nails, but in every lie, in every moment of anger, in every time we chose darkness over light, we were there. And still, he chose the cross. Let that sink in. He knew the betrayal. He knew the pain. He knew the cost. And he still chose you. Not because you were perfect. Not because you earned it. Not because you deserved it. But because his love does not wait for perfection. His love meets you in your brokenness, in your silence, in your guilt, in the parts of your life you try to hide from everyone else, and even from yourself. That's where he comes. Because the cross was never about religion. It was about relationship. And the resurrection was not just a miracle. It was a message that says, no matter how dark it gets, light still wins. No matter how deep you fall, grace still reaches. No matter how final it looks, God is not finished. Because if death, the greatest enemy of man, could not hold him, then what makes you think your situation can? Your pain? Your past? Your mistakes? Your fears? They may feel like a tomb. Cold. Silent. sealed. But listen carefully. Stones can be rolled away. Graves can be opened. And what looks like the end can become the beginning. So if you're watching this right now, and you feel stuck, lost, tired, broken, this is for you. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond saving. Because the same power that raised him from the grave is still moving, still restoring, still bringing life to what feels dead. But here's the question, and it's a real one. What will you do with this truth? Will you walk away like it never mattered? Or will you let it change you? Because this story demands a response. Not tomorrow, not someday. If this message spoke to you, if something in your heart is stirring right now, don't ignore it. Subscribe, because this is more than content. This is truth. This is hope. This is life. And there are more stories, more moments, more messages that you need to hear. And the next one might be exactly what you've been waiting for. Put down your thoughts.